Brand new day here on the Park Lark channel. Welcome on in. Today we have commuted over to downtown Los Angeles here at the LA Union Station. Today they're having an event for train enthusiasts where they are exhibiting model trains, a vintage steam engine locomotive, also some vintage coaches and other exhibits of interest related to transportation, the area of Los Angeles, and entertainment and food. So why don't you come along and join me? Let's go. So we have arrived here at LA Union Station here in downtown Los Angeles. Today is a train event being hosted by the LA Union Station operators, and we're headed down the main tunnel here underneath the tracks towards the station. There are going to be exhibits, music, and various things to see related to the trains here and the importance that they've played in transportation over the years. And so we'll just see what it's all about. It's a Sunday as of this recording, September the 21st, and I don't believe on a Sunday that there are this many people there. The reason there's a lot of people here is because of the event. We're inside the main terminal, and off to my right and also on the other side of this aisle are waiting areas for train passengers. This station does support Amtrak, and there are two main routes that come out of here. There's a cross-country route, and then there's also a West Coast route. There seems to be a number of exhibits here referring to, in this case, the monarch butterfly and some of its migration patterns. California state flower is the poppy, and here's an exhibit talking about that. Seems to be referring to multiple things. I see mammals, amphibians, birds, reptiles, fish, invertebrates. How to read this chart. You can pause the video to read some of the Here's an exhibit on the red-tailed hawk. And one about snakes. Non-venomous and venomous. There, we have them all here. So these are images that have been captured by remote wildlife cams, and of all the types of animals that roam the state. Coyotes and deer and bears among the most common. And there are cats, wild cats that do roam the countryside, and they do roam the countryside that's close to the city. It says coyotes spread seeds. I think every living thing on the planet has a role in the biodiversity and the biofunction of everything that lives on this planet. We're all interconnected in some way, shape, or form. This appears to be an aerial map of the area, of the greater Southern California, Los Angeles metro area, and it has sightings of wildlife. The range that runs along this here is what sometimes is referred to as the Santa Monica Mountains. That area up here is the San Fernando Valley. This is what's referred to as the LA Basin. And points east are the San Gabriel Valley, Orange County to the south, San Bernardino County to the extreme east. It may not even be represented on this aerial. We've moved outside to the patio area of the station. It was originally designed to both accommodate indoors and outdoors for travelers back in the heyday of train travel. Nowadays, it's been the train station is mainly for Monday through Friday for commuters who come in from the outlying areas of the greater LA area into the inner city of downtown Los Angeles for work. Here's a booth for the California High-Speed Rail Authority. It is a venture by the state of California to construct a high-speed rail line through the Central Valley that connects all the population centers from the south to the north. Such an endeavor has run into its challenges in that invariably land has to be acquired that was not owned by the state of California or any rail authority. And so they have to negotiate with whoever owns the land that they need to acquire to make the project come to fruition. And so that probably in itself brings a lot of delay in terms of negotiations or resistance. It also raises costs because the cost of funds is not static. It varies with market conditions. And then there are other things that also play into it. So once land is acquired, it can, construction can begin, but then sometimes construction can crop up onto things that weren't anticipated, and so there can be delays. So one of the critical points about the project is that it takes too long and it costs too much money. And but anything in terms of investment in the future, bringing new technology to bear, competing with international transportation systems and bringing them here to the United States. All of that is worthy of investment, worthy of patience, worthy of taxpayer investment. And personally, I hope that they do succeed, and that generations of the future will enjoy the investment and make the best of it. We'll move on. There seems to be an experience that uses technology, goggles, to be able to probably experience high-speed travel. High-speed travel, it generally means over 150 miles per hour. Some systems can exceed 200 miles an hour. So we'll see what we end up with in the state of California. In addition to the public high-speed rail project, there's also a private venture that is supposed to begin construction soon in the Mojave Desert to connect the Inland Empire, the San Bernardino County area, with Las Vegas. And so, although construction has not begun, it's planned that construction will link Las Vegas with Rancho Cucamonga in the San Bernardino County area, which is the population center of San Bernardino County. Rancho Cucamonga is located about 40 miles east of where we are right now in Los Angeles. So there's a number of refreshment vendors. It was my understanding that there is an exhibit of model trains. We'll see if we can find it. Thank you. In all my years of using this location for commuting, I've never been in this building. But apparently it's a very interesting building. I think it may have been a restaurant. Here are like some table seating. And they probably would have had tables here in the main floor. There's a bar. Okay. So I found the trains, the model trains.
Because they changed the Legos. What, out of curiosity, what part of LA?
And they'll like give you a little like, don't worry about it.
Okay, so my friend runs Tyla, which is Inland Empire's Lego group. So there's one out there too.
We went about a year ago to Corona.
Okay.
And there's a heritage park out there, and they have a permanent display. No, it's a
I think my friend at Tyla does some sort of Boy Scouts. They do some sort of thing out of the Inland Empire.
This appears to be a Lego train. I did not know there was such model trains. That's pretty nice.
I think he wants to ask you a question.
They didn't get in here. Oh, so it was open? It was open, yeah. She said it was open for like a year. Or not a year, but like it was open.
Up until
closed.
a year.
Yeah, like a year. It was a brewery, I think she said. Maybe this was open, but some of it was open.
It's cool. I'm guessing that's
I'm hoping to bring it back.
It's a lounge. This is a very well preserved location.
People worked on it.
I bet its construction had something to do with it.
It's a successful business.
Thank you. There's more area that is covered. Back during the last century, through World War II and those decades, train travel was extremely the main way in which people moved across the country and within a region. And I suspect that this area in here was largely used for luggage, baggage. It now is not used for that whatsoever, and it borders what used to be probably a parking lot or some way for vehicles to get close to this area, and that has all been removed, and they've constructed these buildings in the past 20 to 25 years, and I believe it's the Water Authority that here for the LA area, what I think is referred to as the Metropolitan Water District, and that is their main offices. It's a high rise, it goes up, and because it's related to water, they have a nice fountain. I know that back a few years ago, before the pandemic, this area was open to walk through this area here and to connect to some other ground transportation that lies past that gate that you might be able to see in the distance down there. And so and it connects to the area we were in earlier through this location, as you can see here up the through these signs. You could walk through here and walk out and so on. So this takes us back to this area where there used to be, this is the ticket counter for Amtrak. Over here are vendors that have refreshments and other types of things to purchase. I believe there's restrooms down here, and in other, this is a store. There's a Starbucks. Any commuter location is going to have a Starbucks. First in the morning, people are in need of their coffee. This is a Subway. Oh, on this side of the main terminal is the entertainment music. Here's more facility that isn't used. It looks like it's a baggage claim area now. Has airport style baggage carousels that they can come down from up there, and then they circle around and people can pick up their luggage. And this connects to other transportation drop-off and pickup, as you can see. But again, it's been repurposed from its original design from last century. All that residential buildings over there were not there last century. Those are modern structures that have propped up over the last 20 years or so. Housing in any state is in high demand, and so when public lands become available, local governments will repurpose them for housing. So the music that they brought in is our DJs, and they have different DJs that are performing or playing their music for various hours in the day. And so we have that one. So I'm going to make my way over to where I believe there is a vintage steam locomotive, and when I get there, we'll pick up the video. We're over on the east portal of LA Union Station. This is a modern structure constructed within the past 20 years, and it serves to do two main functions. It's to allow connection to ground transportation, buses and private shuttles, and then it also does a connection, which you can see people going down the escalator here, to the Metro Rail, which is a subway system that has been around for about 20 years, but it's been extensively extended and expanded over the last 10 years. and it does connect quite a bit of the region together, both from the west, the south, and east. We're headed up the escalator to the the level that connects commuters from the rail, either subway or heavy rail, which is what we came in on, to ground transportation such as buses and also private shuttles. It's Sunday, as I mentioned, so you're not going to see the multitudes of commuters up here. In addition to city buses, like that white bus down there, I believe that is an airport shuttle. So people can board that bus and connect all the way to LAX, which is not close by a long shot. And but through ground transportation such as that, it's probably anywhere, depending on traffic, anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour and a half away. And I don't know if you can kind of tell, but just behind that railing that you see there and where people are sitting, it's a drop, and there are escalators that take you down, or stairways that take you down. And the idea is that where we were earlier, you would go underneath this roadway here and be able to surface on that side without having to cross and interrupt bus flow up here on this roadway. This building is the Los Angeles Metro Transportation, or I believe the official name is Los Angeles Department of Transportation, aka Metro. And so the folks that work in this building are responsible for all of the regional transportation for LA City, county, and partners with some of the other counties, neighboring counties, such as San Bernardino, Orange, and Ventura.
That connects right into our MetroLink coach car. That's a refurbished Bombardier. Then at the end of each section here, we have an engine that's view only. You can't go inside. Sorry about that. But you can go inside this Amtrak Surfliner, second and first floor. First floor has an operating dining car if you want a little snack, food, and drink. Behind Amtrak, we have two vintage sleeper cars, something they might see in Sunlight and Hot. Art Deco interior, cute little roomettes. Smaller spaces, so a little bit of a line is far, but it's well worth the wait. All the way down into the left, on the opposite track of Amtrak, is going to be our steam locomotive, our 3751 steam locomotive. So if you want to see that, you can beeline right to it, all the way down to the left. All the way down to the right, the exit. Where you just came up from, that's entrance only. So when you're done with the experience, all the way down and to the right. But in the meantime, have fun exploring, stay safe. Thank you so much.
So we're taking a tour of the Amtrak coaches. This is the dining car.
How much is even this? How much is this? Already on the other side.
Excuse me.
Got your tickets ready? No, I'm kidding.
The best thing for Mexico is just the
So this is the top floor of what we just saw, the dining area. There are curtains to get some privacy if you want to, or block the sun.
classic Amtrak seats. The only way we could do it is sometimes they have like one-way cruise ships.
These are some vintage rail cars that are open for touring as part of the event. We'll go through those and show those as well. While there seems to be a number of people in line, we'll go ahead and make our way around to the other track. We're going down, here's the end of the tracks. And we're headed to go take a look at the vintage steam engine locomotive 3751. My guess is this came from Wyoming. I believe that's the state that these vintage locomotives call home. They are operated by volunteers and former railroaders who work for the Union Pacific.
Thanks for holding it down for me. Yeah, no problem.
These are the steam pistons where the chambers fill up with steam and force the piston back to engage through these mechanisms and turn the wheels. Of course, the big tank is the boiler, part of it anyway. The back end of that is the firebox, and up there is the exhaust for the firebox.
Oh, so you were there last night.
Look at the size of these wheels.
Little bird. And it just sounds invisible because it will, give them the seniority number, mark up words.
So I stand corrected. This is the Santa Fe engine. Santa Fe is no longer an independent railroad. It is part of the Burlington Northern Santa Fe and probably soon to be part of a combined Union Pacific Railroad. So yeah, the West will be under one company. These are some vintage coaches. This looks like a baggage coach. Yeah, right there it says baggage. And another one back here. And then here's a modern diesel electric. They assist in providing technology access to be able to navigate the rails of today. Some of the switching is done through automated systems, and so obviously these vintage steam engines from way before computers were ever imagined lack those kinds of telecommunication systems to interact with modern day switching and signaling systems. However, these modern day diesel electrics have been either manufactured with them or were retrofitted to operate on the automated signaling systems that exist today here in the throughout most of the country, I would suspect. And so they connect to these vintage trains to provide that telecommunications access and ability to navigate the rails, as I mentioned. This is the exterior of where we were earlier in the video, where I was showing you that big mural and describing the various purposes of it, the portal for access to ground transportation and also access to the subway underground, underneath the station. And there's that high-rise building where it serves as the headquarters for the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, aka Metro. And this is looking east onto that busway area, and you can see that, I don't know if you can see it, but through that little opening there you can see the numbers 9802. I believe that is a bus that is for commuting to LAX airport shuttle. Over the last 5 years, they constructed that structure down there, and I'm going to guess that it gives access to the busway, which, rather than having to go and walk all the way down towards Alameda Street, which is at the front of the Union Station, and then walk closer to the 101 freeway, people can come up onto this path along this walkway here, this colonnade, go up those stairs or use elevators or escalators to get up there, and then walk across that new bridge and then descend down to the level where the buses are probably stopping, and they can enter and head points east or from points west and connect with the transportation connections that are here at the LA Union Station, either heavy rail or sub buses, city buses into the downtown area, or the subway down underneath. Los Angeles is a heavily populated and densely populated city and region, and so it does take multiple transportation methods to serve the needs of everyone and to try to get the coverage necessary to be able to cover this wide, expansive layout of a city. Leave a comment in the comment section if you know what this secondary car is used for and what its name is. There appears to be a couple of tents here where the donations can be made to access the cab of the steam engine, and also to pick up merch. Expenses associated with moving this non-commercial equipment around can probably be significant, so public support makes things possible, and that's great to see people do that. So I mentioned a moment ago in the video that the State Route 101, or what is sometimes referred to as the Hollywood Freeway, is, you can see through those openings in the guardrail there, passing by. And it kind of makes its way through the heavily constructed and populated and densely populated downtown LA corridor. It's below grade, meaning that it is below the level of the streets, and it kind of makes its way through that constructed pathway. It then emerges closer to, you can't see it necessarily from Dodger Stadium, but in the proximity of the Dodger Stadium where it's located, the roadway of the 101 elevates and for a moment or two is at grade with streets, and then it will rise above streets or go underneath streets under grade, and there'll be bridges. So as I mentioned in the previous segment, this is the end of the lines for a lot of rails right here. There is 15 tracks. 15 is not covered by one of those, so the number is sitting over there. You have 14 all the way over to 7. Beyond 7, those are tracks that are still available for the commuter rail, which is MetroLink. There in the background distance there, you can see the above rail of the light rail system. It's not the subway, but it is related to the subway system. It's just, this particular line is above ground. Now, what I will tell you is a bit of a story related to an incident that occurred. I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess somewhere in the late 40s to early 50s. Well, when I insert a photograph, I'll mention the exact date. But there was a locomotive that lost air pressure and had no brakes. And it came into the station and plowed right through these barriers that you see there, came across and ended up hanging off of this side here, busting through that And I'm gonna guess it was somewhere right where these cars are. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe in the video will be, I mean, in the photo that I can insert, you'll see. But that was a pretty dramatic accident. The locomotive never fell off, and they were able to, using cranes, lift it and bring it back over to this side and perhaps replace it on the rails and take it back for repairs.
Update alert to exceed at 91 PV lines. There is access in and out of Union Station.
We're in the queue for entry into these sleeping coaches, and so we'll pick it up once we're inside.
Update alert to exceed at 91 PV lines. There is access in and out of Union Station. All different transportation will not be provided. And traffic requirements also affected.
So this is a sleeping car, and we'll be able to see the rooms.
아이가 가는 거 아니야? 아니야 여기는 이거 아니 저쪽으로 저쪽 뒤쪽으로.
It appears that that comes down. So during the day you have someplace to put your feet and sit, and at night when you're sleeping you pull that down, and I think you just stretch out across here. It's not too dissimilar than the modern sleeping cars of today.
만지는 거 아니고. 자, 일로 가보자 이제. 진짜? 그러네. 그럴 수도 있겠다. 그래, 네 말이 맞겠다. 띵동.
Aha! That's exactly what I was talking about. So they opened that, brought it down, and it becomes a bed.
침대카네, 침대카. 침대카 애들.
There's a larger rooms back here. Sleep multiple people instead of one. So where the aisle was down the center of the first half, the aisle has moved over to the side of the car, allowing more space for bigger accommodations to our left.
기차다. 이거 진짜 옛날에 영화에 나오는 기차다.
Okay, then ask them. Say like around what time? 4.
Just a seating area. We have tables. Hello. Drinking fountain. No, no, it's okay. Take your time. No worries. Restroom facilities. Now we've transitioned from the sleeping car to a different coach. Ah, more sleeping. The kitchen. Storage. But it looks like it's got bunks. So you got lower bunk, upper bunk, kind of a table. There might be a restroom in there.
You know, you'd be surprised how much it actually.
This is what it looks like. It's a desk, and there's a sink, and a mirror. All the essentials in a condensed version.
Need a big crane.
Oh, look at this.
Upload it.
Hi there. Complete with the buffet and everything.
Oh, this is all real. Even the flowers are real.
Wouldn't have it any other way, right?
Yeah.
Have a good rest of the day. Even a bigger accommodations.
There's a steam pushing the
Another double berth, I think, as they refer to it. Little table and a little chest of drawers and a sink in the corner. And then the seating area. This is reminiscent of the Orient Express. So we were able to see the sleeping cars, and they're quite something from back in the day. So the docent that greeted me onto the first car told me that the car was constructed in 1956, 69 years ago, and still in service, albeit touring for visitors and for nostalgia purposes, but nonetheless it's still functional.
You guys care about water?
The MetroLink has 2 engines and a car over there that's open for touring as well. Since I came on one of those, I'm not going to go through that. Instead, I'll just get some footage on my way back and explain it to you. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy, as the kids refer to it. There's a bunch of seats, some facing one way, some facing the other way. 2 decks, upper and lower, and a restroom in each car. Some have been retrofitted to be on the lower level for bikes and other personal transportation, and others, all of them support handicap or disabled. So yeah. These are one of their older cars and coaches, probably from the very beginning when MetroLink began operations back in the 1990s. They've been repainted and they look good, and I would guess that the interiors have been refurbished as well. They're made by a Canadian company, Bombardier. These are cleaner burning diesels engines. They put those into service maybe within the last 5 years. And you can see how long these platforms were constructed. And these go back to the 1940s and maybe even beyond, back when they still had steam engines, steam locomotives to pull trains. So it's always been a noisy environment. Over there in the distance you can see the light rail at its station, the Metro. One of the key designs of this whole train station is the separation between equipment and pedestrians. And so one of the ways they've done that is through splitting the levels and building tunnels that go down underneath tracks to allow access to go to the terminal building, which is over there. And then beyond the terminal building is the city street, as I mentioned earlier, Alameda Street. So when you exit a train, you take these ramps down to the main cross tunnel. All the platforms have similar construction, and also on that side they will provide stairs, so you can come downstairs as well. But these ramps were designed to be able to carry baggage, and then wheelchairs, and also electric vehicles that move people and things around in support of the train boarding and disembarking. That is a model of the Pacific Electric red car. Here with this model of the city, vintage model. These exhibits are set up in the hall that was formerly the ticketing office. You can tell by these windows on the right here. They are where people would engage an agent to purchase a ticket to travel. Not been used in decades. Normally this area is cordoned off and not accessed, but for the event today, they have put their model train exhibits here. That's okay.
It's already coming! That'd be ornamented! Oh. It's gone. It's coming! It's coming! You're gonna miss it!
And that was truly great help.
Oh, it stopped again!
These are really small.
Look at the time it's got the graffiti on.
Complete with vandal tagging.
they're resting. And you can hide them.
That's a lot of cars.
That's the one that traps you when it goes to
Only two pullers for this one.
That's a big part. And then this is a Christmas one. This is a Hallmark Christmas one.
Looks like you stopped.
Hallmark Christmas one. There's the where the ring was. You can
This is the group that I first recorded. The others were, their names were followed by their the recording of their equipment.
Go through those doors straight, and across the other doors that should be in there.
Our next station stop is Upland. All station stops are brief. If this is your destination, please watch your step and use hand holds while moving through or exiting the train. Please be aware the step on the train may be lowered for some exits.
Nuestra próxima parada es Upland.
Arriving Upland. Once again, this is Upland. Please use the handrails and watch your step.